The theme for May is Holy, Holy Uprising. And given our current social and political climate, it seemed prudent that I actually take the time to look up these words and see what they actually mean rather than what they may be experienced as from a different perspective. And so, holy, with the W, means entirely full. Entirely full, right? Holy, with the H, whole, uninjured. And interestingly enough, pre-Christianity, it meant preserved, whole, or intact, cannot be transgressed or violated. Think about that. Something that remains whole and intact and cannot be transgressed or violated. That's a pretty powerful something. And if you go back even further with that word holy to the initial Old English and Old German, it actually means health, happiness, and good luck. So imagine a entirely full health, happiness, and good luck that cannot be transgressed or violated. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm all for that. Yes, I'll have that. Right? Uprising. This is the trigger word for these days and times, right? It actually, in the 1300s, when it first surfaced, meant the action of rising from death or the grave, resurrection. And so what if we're spending the whole month resurrecting from sleep, from death, from the grave, the reality that we have always, that we are now and have always been a holy holiness. How about we raise that up? Because when we do that, we get to experience it. As long as it's dormant, as long as it's buried, as long as it's dirt napping, we don't know it's ours and we don't experience it. So we're going to spend the month looking at that. And we're going to look at revolutionary love. We're going to look at, this is perhaps my favorite talk title of all times, This Too Is God? Say their names, and it's not what you think it is. Boldly living a new story. And this morning, we're going to talk about this adventure called life. So let's break that one down. What is life? Life is that quality of being that runs through everything, that makes it what it is. Okay? In the unconscious state, it's mineral. In the simple consciousness, and consciousness as awareness of itself. In the simple consciousness, it's the animal form. In the self-conscious form, it's human. And in the cosmic consciousness, that's where the human level begins to have a realization, an understanding, an embodiment of the unity with the whole. Okay? Now, most of us relate to the word adventure as a daring and exciting activity, right? Calling for enterprise and enthusiasm. Well, did you know that the Latin root means to arrive? Yeah, I had the same. D went like, look. I had the same thing when I was like, really? Because I haven't related to that word that way. But imagine then if we relate to the word arrive in its root, the word adventure in its root form, then we're literally, this adventure called life gets to be an arrival at a state of cosmic consciousness that recognizes the wholeness of creation. Again, how cool is that? Right? To actually live from that perspective. Now, all year long, we're tying this to timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. So the evolutionary vision from our CSL Global Vision Statement that came up for me around this is we envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. Simple enough. Sounds like cosmic consciousness to me. Sounds like inclusion to me. The creative wisdom, our definition of creation. The physical universe is the manifest body of the one infinite reality. Take that in. The manifest body. Not bodies, body. That means we are all an organ, a cell, a limb, however you want to relate to it. But if you think about your own body, right? You got gazillions of cells in there doing different things. We started out as one cell, right? And then those cells replicated themselves, and at some magic moment, they knew how to differentiate and become different organs. Perhaps that is the creative authority of the infinite itself that lives within your being. And that while you experience your body as yours, maybe it's just an individualized cell in the body of the one, perhaps. I personally think that's true. You get to decide what you think is true. So let me finish that. The physical universe is the manifest body of the one infinite reality. And the one infinite reality is more than the physical universe. Creation is an expression of the one infinite reality. This morning, if you get nothing else out of this message, please get that the universe depends on you showing up as you. The whole purpose of creation is what? To create. You are an individualized, never separate, but individualized, creative process infused and empowered with the authority to create. Right? Deepak Chopra says it this way. This is a participatory universe that depends for its very existence on human beings. That's how important you are. This universe depends on our participation. Now here's the good news and the bad news, and we've talked about this before. We are always creating thoughts or things. Like it or not, whatever you hold in your belief system, you are continuously creating that. There is no off switch. There is no, we create on Sundays and the rest of the week we take it off. No. Every belief is active in creation all the time. And so perhaps the biggest risk in adventure is being unintentional and unaware of what we're believing. Perhaps that's the greatest risk. right? Deepak Chopra goes on, and these quotes from Deepak Chopra, let me give you the context here, are from his book, You Are the Universe. So he goes on to say, there is an inner urge in our minds to grow, to expand, to break down the barriers of previous limitations, and to ever widen our experience. This persistent urge is a divine influence and irresistible force and constitutes the greatest impulse in human experience. All of those nudges, all of the ideas, all of the what if I do this, all of the wouldn't it be cool if that is all the divine nudging itself into creation in, through, and as you. And when we come together and you have a piece of the puzzle and your what if connects with my, ooh, and if we had this, and then somebody else says, hey, and if we take those things and we add, then we get air balloons and we get airplanes, the Wright brothers. What happens if we add a motor to a bicycle and then put some wings on it? You get an airplane. Seriously, people, I'm not making it up. Do your homework. That's how they made an airplane. Right? That's what's available to us. Now, I know COVID has stressed humanity to the max. But I also know it is that call to something wider, something greater. While we've had this pause, are we using it to become aware of what wants to be expressed? Or are we sitting around using it to complain? Depends on the day of the week. Depends on the hour of the day. Depends on whether or not I'm trying to get tickets to the Giants game. And, a $50 ticket is now $150. And then I'm not so spiritually anchored. Let's just tell the truth. When my wife wants to go out to dinner and neither one of us feels like it's safe, I lose a little spiritual footing sometimes, right? It's not about not being human. It's about remembering that our humanness is our spirituality. They're not separate. Our humanness is how God, the divine spirit, whatever word works for you, has chosen to express itself. Right? You are a on purpose, intentional, one-of-a-kind expression of a desire in the heart of God itself to know itself as you. That's who you are. Holy moly. Now, if you can't get on board with rising that up, I don't know if I can help you. That's a pretty amazing thing to be. What will it take for you to say yes to every divine holy nudge? Not to do everything, but to say yes to everything. There's a difference. When we think we have to do everything, we're living in separation. Say yes. Hold that energy. The law of attraction. Energy attracts energy like itself at the same vibration. Saying yes puts you in that vibration. Then whoever has the idea to add the wings to the bicycle shows up. Right? And then that energy held together brings in the idea of the motor. Right? Just say yes. Don't get stuck in thinking you have to do it all. Just hold the yes. Deepak Chopra goes on to say this: every day our actions exist on the cutting edge of evolution, the frontier where the mind is caught between caution and curiosity. It's okay. It's okay to be curious. It's okay to have those ideas that make you go, wait a minute. Right? If your ideas don't push you out of your comfort zone, get a bigger idea of God. It's about growing. It's about expanding. Let yourself be that. Let yourself arrive at the oneness through conscious participation in this amazing adventure called life. There is only one reality, Deepak Chopra. This is that place of arrival. Take this in. There is only one reality, not two. There is no inner and no outer. No me and you. No mind and matter. The mind has stopped conceiving of reality and now starts living it. I dare you. I dare you to have a new thought. I dare you to throw yourself into this adventure called life. Give it 5 years. If it doesn't work, I'll gladly refund your misery. God as you is magnificent. And it's just waiting to express itself. Let's take this into prayer. So recognizing that one infinite, ever-present allness, I know that wherever I go, whatever I'm doing, I am surrounded by it, immersed in it, infused by it. That it is the adventure of life. That it is living me and that I am living it. That truly there is just one life. That life is spirit. Spirit is my life. And what is true of me is true of all life. And so I simply speak a word, throwing the doors of our human mind, our brain, our human consciousness, our hearts, our awareness, our intention, wide open. Inviting that dance between curiosity and courage. One and the same. That caution simply reminds us that we're human as we say yes to being all that we came here to be. So grateful. So grateful to be used. Used in this holy, holy uprising. And so in this gratitude, I let go. I let life be life. I let God be God. I let love be love. And I let people be people. And I invite you to join me as we say together, and so it is.